Hello and welcome back to A Course in Miracles workbook for students. We are on lesson 137. When I am healed, I am not healed alone. Today's idea remains the central thought on which salvation rests. For healing is the opposite of all the world's ideas which dwell on sickness and on separate states. Sickness is a retreat from others and a shutting off of joining. It becomes a door that closes on a separate self and keeps it isolated and alone.
Sickness is isolation, for it seems to keep oneself apart from all the rest, to suffer what the others do not feel. It gives the body final power to make the separation real and keep the mind in solitary prison, split apart and held in pieces by a solid wall of sickened flesh which it cannot surmount.
The world obeys the laws that sickness serves, but healing operates apart from them. It is impossible that anyone be healed alone. In sickness must he be apart and separate, but healing is his own decision to be one again and to accept himself with all its parts intact and unassailed. In sickness does his self appear to be dismembered and without the unity that gives it life. But healing is accomplished as he sees the body has no power to attack the universal oneness of God's Son.
Sickness would prove that lies must be the truth, but healing demonstrates that truth is true. The separation sickness would impose has never really happened. To be healed is merely to accept what always was the simple truth, and always will remain exactly as it has been forever been. Yet eyes accustomed to illusions must be shown that what they look upon is false. So healing, never needed by the truth, must demonstrate that sickness is not real.
Interesting.
Mm.
Healing healing might thus be called a counter dream, which cancels out the dream of sickness in the name of truth, but not in truth itself. Just as forgiveness overlooks all sins that were never accomplished, healing but removes illusions that have not occurred. Just as the real world will arise to take the place of what has never been at all, healing but offers restitution for imagined states and false ideas which dreams embroider into pictures of the truth.
Yet thinking not healing is Yet think not healing is unworthy of your function here. Excuse me. For Antichrist becomes more powerful than Christ to those who dream the world is real. The body seems to be more solid and more stable than the mind, and love becomes a dream, while fear remains the one reality that can be seen and justified and fully understood.
Just as forgiveness shines away all sin and the real world will occupy the place of what you made, so healing must replace the fantasies of sickness which you hold before the simple truth. When sickness has been seen to disappear in spite of all the laws that hold it cannot be real, then questions have been answered, and the laws can no longer cherish what? And the laws can no longer
Can be
cherished
no
or
longer.
obeyed. What?
And the laws can be no longer cherished nor obeyed.
Ah, I missed that word. Be no longer cherished or obeyed. Thank you.
Healing is freedom, for it demonstrates that dreams will not prevail against the truth. Healing is shared, and by this attribute it proves that laws unlike the ones which hold that sickness is inevitable and are more potent than their sickly opposites. Healing is strength, for by its gentle hand is weakness overcome, and minds that were walled off within a body free to join with other minds to be forever strong.
Healing, forgiveness, and the glad exchange of all the world of sorrow for a world where sadness cannot enter are the means by which the Holy Spirit urges you to follow him. His gentle lessons teach how easily salvation can be yours, how little practice you need to undertake to let his laws replace the ones you made to hold yourself a prisoner to death. His life becomes your own as you extend the little help he asks in freeing you from everything that ever caused you pain.
And as you let yourself be healed, you see all those around you, or who cross your mind, or whom you touch, or those who seem to have no contact with you, healed along with you. Perhaps you will not recognize them all, nor realize how great you're offering to all the world when you let healing come to you, but you are never healed alone. And legions upon legions will receive the gift that you receive when you are healed.
Those who are healed become the instruments of healing. Nor does time lapse between the instant they are healed and all the grace of healing it has given them to give. What is opposed to God does not exist, and who accepts it not within his mind becomes a haven where the weary can remain to rest. For here is truth bestowed, and here are all illusions brought to truth.
Would you not offer shelter to God's will, but invite yourself to be at home? And can this invitation be refused? Ask the inevitable to occur, and you will never fail. The other choice is but to ask what cannot be, and this cannot succeed. Today we ask that only truth will occupy our minds, that thoughts of healing will this day go forth from what is healed to what must yet be healed, aware that they will both occur as one.
We will remember as the hour strikes. Our function is to let our minds be healed that we may carry healing to the world, exchanging curse for blessing, pain for joy, and separation for the peace of God. Is not a minute of the hour worth the giving to receive a gift like this? Is not a little time a small expense to offer for the gift of everything?
Yet must we be prepared for such a gift. And so we will begin the day with this and give 10 minutes to these thoughts with which we will conclude today at night as well. When I am healed, I am not healed alone, and I would share my healing with the world, that sickness may be banished from the mind of God's one Son, who is my only self.
Let healing be through you this very day, and as you rest in quiet, be prepared to give as you receive, to hold what you give, and to receive the word of God, to take the place of all the foolish thoughts that ever were imagined. Now we come together to make well all that was sick and offer blessings where there was attack. Nor will we let this function be forgot as every hour of the day slips by, remembering our purpose with this thought. When I am healed, I am not healed alone, and I would bless my brothers, for I would be healed with them as they are healed with me.
Well, I find it, aside from the message, which I think I get, I find it just so interesting that this is a new printing, like it's in our last decade or so, right? Why is it so wordy and so,
Well,
like, to me, in the Bible, when Jesus talks, he talks in parables. They're very short, tiny little stories that are easily understood.
yeah,
And so I'm just wondering, like, yeah,
I guess that's the way Jesus spoke.
in parables, not like this word salad. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so intensely wordy. It's
Yes,
hard to get through a sentence. And you and I are both good readers,
yeah,
right? So to
can read.
compartmentalize the understanding that needs to come from a passage is not easy.
Right.
Not that it
Well,
all has to be easy,
and
but
we're
just a
stubborn
little more
human
straightforward.
beings.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be repeated. Like how many paragraphs are here? 15 paragraphs. It has to be said in 15 different ways in each paragraph for us to actually wrap our head around.
But I feel like it's hard for me to wrap my head around any one of those things. I would have to go over each one and really just try to get the essence of that.
Exactly. And that's why I want to meet, because what stands out for you helps me understand, and what stands out for me, I hope, helps you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's, because to do this on your own, it's like a word salad, like you say. How can you possibly make heads or tails of this? But there's one line that stands out and I think summarizes it all.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, healing is freedom.
Yeah.
If we remember there's no time and there's no sickness, I mean, I know I have had this tickle in my throat. It's not manifested into anything. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what it is, um, but I can feel it. So how is it not there?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I know it's there because it's my body and my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if we are really connected, none of us are sick. None of us are politicians. None of us are truthers. None of us individually do anything.
Right.
So it's challenging to see because I'm me and you're in another city and we're on a thing called Zoom. I'm on my laptop, you're on a desktop, and we apparently are very separate. Our brains are separate, our thought patterns are separate, your relationship is different than mine. So we have proof constantly that we're separate and individual.
But understanding that still doesn't stop your throat from being a little bit sore.
Right? It's not sore, it's like a little tickle.
Okay.
I
But
do
yeah.
that, and but it's mine.
Yeah.
It's not ours. You don't feel it.
Sickness would prove that lies must be the truth. I
Yeah,
don't know what to
right.
make of that.
So we're believing lies, like, yeah. And how can we? Like, we definitely all have had our colds. I mean, we've had big gaps in our meetings, so
Sure.
we've
Yep.
both been sick, and
Yeah.
yet here we are reading that it's not true. And how do we
Because
convince our individual bodies that it's not true?
yeah, it's not like we ask for the sickness to come upon us. Kind of we feel like it comes out of nowhere. So were we exposed to more lies and that's what made us sick?
I know, right? And that's not what God's all about.
Right. So yeah,
I don't know.
so
I
confusing.
honestly don't know. Our function is to let our minds be healed. That's from number 13, that we may carry healing to the world, exchanging curse for blessing, pain for joy, and separation for the peace of God. Our
So the
function is,
top of the lesson, when it says, "When I am healed, I am not healed alone." So what would need healing if we are never sick?
I think it talks more of, this is on a different scale. Like, we believe we see crimes and rapes and murders and fire, that kind of thing. That is all our unhealed wounds. Because as a collective, the more we heal ourselves, then ultimately there'll be less fires and murders and rapes. Because as a collective, that's at least my interpretation.
Okay. Okay, I'm with you.
Um, as we heal ourselves and we can be peaceful and loving. I mean, if peace and love, if we're in that, because I've said that before, if we're in our loving state, we offset a million, I don't even know, people that are not, or a million or more people, or whatever.
Hmm.
So, um, but I don't know how it relates to this. When I am healed, well, so yeah, when I'm healed, I'm not healed alone. So as we heal all those unhealed wounds in us, we heal everybody. So that's why the work is such, a work in progress.
Right.
And we don't know that what we're seeing on anything is true.
Right. Yeah, I
So
agree. I'm
I
there.
think we are winning when we are doing this kind of work, and when you do your all the beauty stuff you do, and all
Mm-hmm.
the things that I do. When we're in a loving state, we help. So it's um, reducing the amount of times we're not in a good space,
Mm-hmm.
and also energetically. Yeah, I mean, we've both had sort of sessions where we haven't felt good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we just let it flow through our bodies. And I guess that's what we're supposed to do. But as a collective, I don't know, right? I sound like I'm going in circles. I feel like I'm talking in circles. But that's what it says. When I am healed, I'm not healed alone. As we do the work on ourselves, and if we, I don't know, I'm sure I'm still going to have a cold at some point. Not now because of my throat or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's just what happens in our human bodies. And I
Right.
don't want to say that that's the truth, because I would like to say, well, I don't feel unwell, or
Mm-hmm.
but that from what I understand, when we heal our wounds and our traumas and the things that trigger us, we do it for everybody.
Right. Yes. I'm looking at number 5 here. Healing might thus be called a counter dream, which cancels out the dream of sickness in the name of truth, but not in truth itself. Just as forgiveness overlooks all sins that never were accomplished. I'm not sure what that means. Healing but removes illusions that have not occurred. Just as the real world will arise to take the place of what has never been at all.
In
Healing
this
but offers
illusion,
restitution for imagined
in
states. Yeah.
right, in this illusion, there is no sickness. There is no um, need for forgiveness. It's the illusion that we are in that has sickness and requires forgiveness. And that's
So
why it
it's
says it's never accomplished, because in if we were to die and go back to source, there's none of that there.
right.
And all of us have that source inside us.
Right.
But we still have this on the outside.
So things like murder and rape, those are not sins?
No, it's a collective bad energy.
Okay.
And they don't happen. And none of this that's happening here is real. Even though, like I've said many times, we can touch things, I
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
you know,
Okay.
but none of it's real. All of this is an illusion.
Right.
That's why it's called a counter dream, which cancels out the dream of sickness in the name of truth. So there's no sickness in the truth,
Mm-hmm.
but this is an illusion.
Right.
Just as forgiveness overlooks all sins that were never accomplished, all of the things that we think are taking place here are not taking place.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mind warp, right?
Yeah.
And that's why it says healing but removes illusions that have not occurred. All of this is not occurring, as insane as that seems, because
Yeah.
we can touch things. I can pick this up, my little post-it stamp, my book that
Mm-hmm.
we're reading. It's a thing, it's a heavy thing.
Yep.
How can it not exist? But this is all an illusion, because we've given it meaning. Back to number one, we've given all these things meaning, so therefore
Right.
it's real to us. But if
Mm-hmm.
we take away the meaning of all these things, I'm actually not sitting on a chair. I'm actually not even here.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's our morning deep conversation.
Yep. Absolutely. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
you have a great day, and
yes,
I'll
you
call
too.
this a wrap.
Okay.